To visit with one of our favorite people of all time, Sheree Clark from Fork of the Road, joining us.
Hello.
Good to see you again, finally.
Yeah, back from travels.
I've been gone, I know, it's crazy, but I made up for it.
You sure did. You know, we're at that time of the year where they come, when everybody seems to be come up a little bit short, both on time, maybe on money at the same time. But Sheree says that she's been working on some ideas, as you can see here, and come up with some advice that's both going to save you some time. We're talking about a lot of time and even some scratch at the same time. So making it real simple. You claim that you can have one little 10-minute recipe here that can be served 5 different ways, and it's good enough that you could, if somebody comes over, you can serve it to them.
Absolutely, yeah. You want me to prove it?
Prove it.
Okay.
That was my next words out of my mouth, is prove it.
We're on. Okay, so what I did was I came up with, I have one recipe, and I've made it to present to you 5 different ways. So we know that one of the things that we do to save time is to kind of group activities. So if you only have to do one thing and then you can serve it different ways, you've obviously saved time. You're saving money because you're cutting down on the number of ingredients. So what I did was I took a basic recipe that uses 5 ingredients and I made it these different ways. So let me tell you what that recipe is. What I've done right here is I have the raw material, and this is a nut pate, and we've made these before on the show.
The nut pates. 5 ingredients.
5 ingredients: walnuts, pine nuts, garlic, basil, and sun-dried tomatoes. That's it. That's it. So that goes into the food processor. When it's done, it looks like that, kind of a loose meat, almost like
it looks like ground meat.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
ground meat.
And people who don't know any better might think that when they taste it, you can disguise it so that it could taste like a taco meat. It could taste like a meat, and you'll see what I'm talking about afterwards. So let's start with a basic. In the larger bowl, what I did was I basically took a chopped salad. So there's a lot of good lettuce and greens, which we know we need to have more of this time of year because we're eating so many of those donuts and those other things that we're eating.
Yeah, at least we eat a bunch of them here in a little bit. I just lost something. That's okay, though.
You just lost an olive. That's okay.
That's all right. So then if we take some of the loose meat, if you will, and sprinkle it over the top, you've almost got a taco salad.
Okay.
So you know sometimes you want to be eating well. You're doing a lot of holiday partying.
Right.
And so at lunchtime you think, you know, I'm going to be good girl, I'm going to be good guy, I'm going to have a salad. But it leaves you feeling kind of hollow. It's wintertime. So you want something with some substance to it. Well, this will do just that for you. So that makes it a little bit more grounding. It gives it more calories. There's some fat, some flavor. And I did not add any salad dressing to that. You could if you wanted to, but I wanted
noticed that. Yep.
Yeah, I wanted to keep it less fat. But a little, if you wanted to add some dressing, you could, and a little will go a long way.
And you know something, it's a very valid point. I had a salad last night, and I did not have any. Usually I'll throw some chicken or something on it. But we didn't have any of that available, and so I just had a regular salad with salad dressing on it. It was good, but just lacked something.
Yeah.
It lacked that extra oomph.
Yeah.
And this gives it that extra oomph.
Little grounding makes you feel like you ate something, and you're not back in the kitchen trying to snack a little bit later.
If you
Which
wanted
is what
to,
I did about 10 minutes later.
If you wanted to guide this more towards, say, a taco salad, could you add in some seasonings to
Oh, heck yeah.
put it more in that direction?
Absolutely. And then the other thing is the other toppings that you would add to it. Some pico de gallo, if you want it to be a taco salad, you could put a little
Sure.
glop of guacamole. If you eat dairy, you could shred up some cheese. So any of the ways that you would have a real taco salad, maybe skip that fried shell. That would be a good place to start because you're going to be having holiday things. But this would be a great beginning.
Yeah, it does give it just a little extra, which is good.
Exactly.
All right, that's option number 1.
that's
Okay, so number 1. Now let's keeping it raw because this is just from my little container here right onto your salad. That's an easy way. Now you're having company tonight. So you've had your salad for today. Tonight you have company coming. On the small square dish, what I've done is essentially taken the pate and stuffed it in some fresh vegetables. So you've got some mini bell peppers. I've also done mushroom caps. So those will give you crunch and contrast of texture in addition to that taco meat or whatever it is you'd like to call it. And now you've got something that's really, it's pretty and it's fancy. You could put it in celery, you could put it in endive, you could smear it over a radish slice.
Put it in your mouth.
Put it in your mouth. And
So
just
the exact same thing.
Exact same thing,
Just
with
in a different
nothing
vehicle
else.
here.
All I did was I took it and put it into raw vegetables and used it as kind of a stuffing. You could heat it if you wanted to. Some people like their stuffed mushrooms to be cooked.
Sure.
Just put them in a warmed oven with maybe a little bit of soy sauce in the bottom to marinate the mushroom. A little bit of olive oil, it would be wonderful.
Maybe a little toaster oven action for it, too.
Perfect. Yeah, that would be
That'd be
absolutely
very good.
perfect. So there you go here again. grounding, but you're getting your fresh vegetables in. We've tricked you into having
Right.
some of those nice, that good nutrition, and you don't feel like you've been cheated.
Right.
Okay. So now, in the taller glass, in the little shot glass,
Okay.
what I've done is,
Get this olive out of the way.
yeah, you better eat that. I've again taken some of the raw meat and stuffed it into the container, and then on the top I have a marinara kind of a sauce. Very simple sauce. It's just some tomatoes, olive oil, a little bit more basil, something that would complement the Italian flair from the meat.
Sure.
Put that on the top to give it a little bit of moisture. Now you can use it as either a layer dip, or it could be just something that you spoon into your mouth. You can eat it off the spoon, or you could spread it on the top of that carrot that I just made a carrot plank. I was wanting to do that in
Yeah, I
lieu.
thought it was like a little carrot tombstone there for a second.
It looks like it. It's a really thick carrot. I didn't want to do bread, the bruschetta. Again, we get a lot of that kind of stuff during the holiday time. So more fresh vegetables, we can just use that as the carrier.
And it's like a marinara meat sauce almost. Like, so you could almost do your zucchini noodles or something like that.
Precisely.
And do a pasta dish.
Yes. And
That is really good. It adds that little bit of moisture that it's lacking.
yes, yep, exactly. So, and you could change up your sauce however you want. If you like a mushroom sauce, if you've got a family favorite that you do all times of the year, even a turkey gravy, if that's.
Do you want to know something
one of your
else?
palate.
I just took a spoonful of this. This almost tastes like a sloppy Joe.
Yeah,
You
very
know,
good
if
point.
you're into that type, if you're eating bread, by the way, if you're into having bread, put it on a bun. This would be like a sloppy Joe.
And if you're trying to sidestep the bread, you could put it on a cabbage leaf, and
That-
it would be awesome. And it gives you a nice crunch. And I love flavor textures, and that's what's nice about that.
That is really good.
So now let's take the same scenario, but present it a different way.
Okay.
From there, we're going to go to the square dish. Now I've taken the meat, I've formed it into round balls, and I put it in the dehydrator for 4 or 5 hours so that it turns into, essentially, we call them neat balls because there's no meat in there. I use the same sauce that was in the shot glass kind of arrangement, and now it's a dip. So now you can put that on your appetizer or hors d'oeuvre tray and table, and somebody can just go by, pick it up with a toothpick.
So
and
how
have
long
it.
was this in the dehydrator?
About 4 hours, 4 or 5
Okay.
hours, just
What
enough
temperature?
to seal it off. 105.
105?
And you can leave it in longer. The nice thing about dehydrating is that it doesn't matter if it's in there for 12 hours, it'll be fine.
It falls apart. Then when you do that, when you put it in your mouth, it just crumbles apart.
Yes, which is that's why it's got the toothpick so that you're not dropping it all over.
It'd come apart if you tried to grab it.
Yes, so you put it in the sauce and there you have it. So again, these are exactly the same ingredients, just prepared or presented differently. So look how much time I've saved. I didn't have to do a whole nother recipe.
Recipe.
I just changed up how I presented it.
Right.
Okay.
All right, now let's go to the main course
The
here.
main course is the burger. So what I did was, again, took the same basic meat, no additions, no subtractions. I formed it into a burger size shape, a little mini burger. And then again, avoiding some bread because you're gonna have your donuts and you're gonna have your Christmas cookies, and so let's get some vegetables into you. So a piece of romaine serves as your bun. I put a slice of shallot, an olive, and a pickle, and there you have a burger. You could put some more of that sauce on the top of it
As I
if
say,
you
you put
wanted
some of
to.
that marinara
a
sauce.
little
Little
moisture on
moisture.
there.
Yep. I like it personally with some sriracha because I like a little bit of hate.
yeah.
Would be beautiful on there. You could put some sautéed mushrooms. You could take up any of the other vegetables that I've done, some chopped raw vegetables, and put that on there. Fabulous way. The fifth and final way, although
burger.
it's only final because we're going to run out of time.
Right. But the tomato actually adds the moisture that you're looking for too.
Yes.
So that's a good addition to that.
Exactly.
So that all worked.
So it works perfectly, and we could keep going, but we won't. We'll wait for next time.
Okay, so break down those ingredients again. What are we actually eating?
Okay, and if anybody wants the exact recipe, just drop me a note. But here's what it is: it's walnuts, pine nuts, basil, garlic, and sun-dried tomatoes.
That's it.
Wow.
That's it.
All right.
Yeah.
Really easy. Save yourself some time and some
And money.
All right. And people want to get the recipe to create this, or maybe some other ideas too. Where can they follow you?
Just drop me an email at info@fork-road.com or visit me on the web at fork-road.com.
Perfect. Wonderful.
Wonderful.
Good stuff.
Yeah, thanks.
Great
Appreciate it.
ideas. Thank
It's
you.
great to be back.
It's nice to have you back too.